Import video files and image sequences. Import video files and image sequences. So note here please now. By the way, for Photoshop versions earlier than Photoshop CC, some functionality discussed in this article may be available by the way only if you have Photoshop Extended, and Photoshop doesn't have a separate Extended offering, and all features in Photoshop Extended are part of Photoshop by the way. And how to open or import a video file. How to open and or import a video file in Photoshop. By the way, in Photoshop you can open a video file directly or add video to an open document, and when you import a video, the image frames are referenced in a video layer by the way. And you have steps here now. Step number 1, you should open a video file directly, then you choose file, then you choose open. After that, to import a video into an open document, you should choose layer firstly, then you choose video layers, then select new video layer from file. Step number 2, in the open dialog box for files or of type if you use Windows, or enable if you use macOS, you should choose either All Readable Documents or QuickTime Movie. Step number 3, select a video file and then click open. And by the way, you can also open video directly from Bridge, and then select a video file and then choose file, then select open with, and then select Adobe Photoshop. And how to import image sequences. How to import image sequences. By the way, in Photoshop, when you import a folder of sequenced image files, each image by the way becomes a frame in a video layer. And we have steps here now again. Step number 1, you should to make sure that the image files are in one folder and are named sequentially, and the folder should contain only those images by the way you want to use as frames, and the resulting animation will be more successful if all files have the same pixel dimensions. And to order frames correctly for the animation, name the files in alphabetical or numeric order. For example, file name 001 or file name 002 or file name 003 and so forth. Step number 2, to open an image sequence directly, you should to choose file firstly, then you choose open, and after that to import an image sequence into an open document, you should to choose layer, then you choose video layers, then select new video layer from file. Step number 3, in the open dialog box, navigate to the folder with image sequence files. Step number 4, select one file, then you choose the image sequence option, then and then click open. And do not be careful. Selecting more than one file in an image sequence disables the image sequence option. Step number 5, specify the frame rate and then click OK. And how to place a video or image sequence. How to place a video or image sequence. By the way, in Photoshop, you can use the place command if you want to transform the video or image sequence as you import into a document. And once placed, the video by the way frames are contained within a smart object. And when video is contained by a smart object, by the way you can also navigate through the frames using the animation panel, and then you can also apply smart filters. Note and be careful again here now please now. You can't paint by the way or clone directly on video frames contained by a smart object, and however you can add a blank video layer above the smart object and paint on the blank frames, and you can also use the clone tool with the simple all layers option to paint on blank frames. This lets you by the way use the video in the smart object as a cloning source. We have steps again. Step number 1, with a document open, you should open with a document open, you should choose file, then you choose place. And step number 2, in the place dialog box, do one of the following. You should select a video file and then click place. After that, select one image only sequence file, then select the image sequence option, then click place. Note here please now, make sure that all the image sequences files are in one folder. And step number 3, optional, you can't use the control points to scale or rotate or move or wrap the imported content. Step number 4, you should click the Commit Transform button in the options bar to place the file. And by the way, you can also place video directly from Adobe Bridge, and then select the video file and then choose file, then choose place, then choose in Photoshop. And how to reload footage in a video layer. How to reload a footage in a video layer. By the way, if the source file for a video layer is modified in a different application, by the way, Photoshop generally reloads and updates the footage, and when you open the document containing the video layer referencing the changed source file, if your document is already open and the source file has been modified, you can't use the reload frame command to reload and update the current frame in the animation panel, by the way, and navigating through the video layer using the previous and next frame or play button in the animation panel should also reload and update the footage. And how to replace footage in a video layer. By the way, Photoshop tries to maintain the link between the video layer and the source file, even if you move or rename the source, and if the link breaks for some reason, an alert icon appears on the layer in the layers panel. And to relink the video layer to the source file, you can use the replace footage command, and this command, by the way, can also replace the video or image sequence frames in a video layer with frames from a different video or image sequence source. We have steps again. Step number 1. In the timeline or layers panel, you should select the video layer that you want to relink to the source file or to replace the content. Step number 2. You should choose layer firstly, then you choose video layers, then you choose replace footage. Step number 3. In the open dialog box, you should select a video or image sequence file and then click open. And what about interpreting video footage? Interpret video footage is meaning you can specify how Photoshop interprets the alpha channel and frame rate of the video you have opened or imported. We have steps again. Step number 1. In the timeline or layers panel, you should select the video layer that you want to interpret firstly. Step number 2. Choose layers, then choose video layers, then choose interpret footage. Step number 3. In the interpret footage dialog box, do any of the following. To specify how the alpha channel in the video layer is interpreted, you should select an alpha channel option, then the footage must have an alpha channel for this option to be available. And if pre-multiplied mate is selected, by the way, and you can specify the mate color with which the channels are pre-multiplied. And to specify the number of video frames played per second, enter a frame rate. And to color manage the frames or images in a video layer, you should choose a profile from the color profile menu firstly. And what about alpha channel interpretation in video and image sequences? What about alpha channel interpretations in video and image sequences? By the way, video and image sequences with alpha channels can be straight pre-multiplied if you are working with video or image sequences containing alpha channels, and it's important, by the way, to specify how Photoshop interprets the alpha channel to get the results you expect. And when pre-multiplied video or images are in a document with certain background colors, it's possible, by the way, to get understable ghosting or halos, and you can specify a mate color so the semi-transparent pixels and blend multiply with the background without producing halos. And how to ignore, if you would like to ignore the alpha channels in the video, and straight unmated is meaning interprets the alpha channel as straight alpha transparency, and if the application you used to create the videos doesn't pre-multiply the color channels, select this option, by the way. And the pre-multiplied mate is meaning uses the alpha channels to determine how much of the mate color to mix with the color channels, and if necessary, click the color swatch in the interpret footage dialog box to specify the mate color. Like the next image and next screenshot now, item with pre-multiplied channels, top appears with a black halo when interpreted as a straight unmated, and lower left when interpreted as pre-multiplied mate with black specified as background color. Halo doesn't appear, by the way, lower right.